Hi, I'm Jenn Fadal, the Pack Mom, here to make your life as a pet parent a bit easier. Today we're talking about how to prevent a dog from leaving food on the floor. When I adopted Chico, who you might hear whining throughout the segment, I adopted him 2 years ago. He was notorious for leaving food on the floor. Why was he doing this? In his case, he was really nervous, anxious, and just was freaked out by being in his new house. So if you have an anxious or nervous dog, it's best to feed them in seclusion, away from any other dogs, especially away from kids and away from loud noises. So maybe their own little room or their own little corner of the house, and hopefully they will eat much better. Next, make sure you're feeding the right amount of food. So always measure and go by the bag directions to make sure you're feeding the right amount. Some dogs are very sensitive to overly rich food, so if the food is too rich and you're giving too much, they're going to leave it on the floor. Next, you might even want to try something as easy as a different bowl. If you try a different bowl, your dog may like it better. They may, instead of having a metal bowl, try a rubber bowl or a plastic bowl. If you have a bowl that's low to the ground, maybe try one that's on a raised feeder. Sometimes it's just that simple. Next, if they just don't like their food, they may need a different kind of food. So if you're feeding dry, maybe opt for another type of dry food. If you're feeding wet, maybe a different type of wet, different protein source, something like that, something more gravy-based versus pate. Try something different, mix it up. And finally, feed on a schedule. Your dog should only have about 15 minutes to eat in the morning and another 15 minutes to eat at night. If the dog does not finish, go ahead and pick up his bowl, put it on the counter or in the refrigerator, put it back down at the next feeding time. He will quickly learn to eat when the food is presented and not to leave it on the floor. I'm Jenn Fadal, the Pack Mom, with tips to prevent your dog from leaving food on the floor. Thanks for watching.